Okay, Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Now, I didn't get on the hype train for this, and I know people who had lots and lots of speculation as to who are Rey's parents. If you take the last film, it's The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi. Is Jedi singular or is it plural? Does it mean that Rey's the last Jedi? But the trailer's going to say it's not going to end the way you expect. But then it shows Rey and Kylo. Do they switch places? Does one become a villain? One becomes a hero? What happens? This film very much carries a lot from Empire Strikes Back. You have a lot of Rey and Luke on the island, and you learn a lot. Or you see a lot of the animals on the island from it's called the Porg. It's the weird like puppy dog penguin thing, just everywhere, and they're used for a lot of comedy. Almost a little bit too much. They do some slapsticky moments, that's almost a little bit too much with that. You will get to see where some of the bluish green milk comes from. I don't know if you want to see that, but it's there. The best moment in this entire film, they do a lot of this, is they do these juxtaposition moments where it's Rey talking and then Kylo talking. And Kylo all in black, super industrial military complex all around him. Rey, light-colored clothes on an island surrounded by nature, and it's a brilliant juxtaposition between those two. It's like light side, dark side. The training sequences between Luke and Rey are great. Learning more about the last moments of Ben Solo are, again, really, really well done. When they do one of the battle sequences, when they show the commercials, where it's the skiffs coming across and the red blowing behind them, and I think it's the AT-AT, I think the ST is the smaller one, and they've modified them so they walk almost more like gorillas with the big pounding motion to them. Tremendous amount of space sequences. I saw this in 3D, and this would be probably really good in the 3D XD seats, because I'm pretty sure it's going to be like this half the time. So worth it to see in 3D. But there are also moments too where I thought it went kind of bizarre and heavy-handed. They do a whole middle sequence which almost felt like it was entirely filler. And it doesn't add a tremendous amount to the plot. It also felt like they built up certain characters, and they didn't do as much as I would have hoped they would have done with them. I mean, there's a battle sequence that happens in Snoke's chamber with his Imperial guards, and their weapons are incredible. Dual bladed weapons, long bladed weapons, chain swords. That whole sequence is fantastic. That's a really, really well done sequence. I will say that whole sequence where it's Snoke, his guards, Rey, and Kylo, which you see it in the trailers. It really had that fantastic, it had that Return of the Jedi feeling to it, which was fantastic. So they borrow a lot from Empire, because it's the middle film, so it's gonna get. But it almost felt more like it was the Two Towers. I find to learn more about Rose, or Rosie. I saw her all over the Destiny of the Force characters. I'm like, and who is she? And then you find out, you're like, oh, okay, that's fine. They do have certain people that they bring into the film that are solid actors, that felt like they almost had, be in Star Wars on a bucket list. They're like, yep, I was in Star Wars. Did you do a lot? I was in Star Wars. Okay. They do also bring in some of the older characters. You will see Admiral Akbar. You will see Nib, I think that's his name, the co-pilot for Lando Calrissian. I was almost thinking, where's my Lando at? Pretty much everyone else who's alive. Billy D's still alive, right? Maybe he'll be in the third one. It was a good film. I know it's getting lots of polarization to it, primarily because when you saw The Force Awakens, it was an incredible film. And it was incredible because we hadn't had a really, really good Star Wars film in a while. But this one's coming off of the heels of Rogue One, which was, not your children's Star Wars, and The Force Awakens. So it's already coming in after two very, very solid films. And I think that some of the questions that were brought up in the first film that people speculated on, they got answers. Whether they were true answers or not, we'll find out later. Because you remember Empire Strikes Back, when they first heard, no, I am your father. James Earl Jones was like, that's brilliant. He's playing with him. And Mark Hamill was like, maybe he's lying. And now we know that he wasn't lying. What if he is lying? Villains lie all the time. So I enjoyed it. It's never seen in 3D. This is a film you will definitely should see in the theaters. It is big, it is impressive, it is epic. Did it leave me kind of going, I liked it, I thought it was good, but it didn't quite have that same punch as The Force Awakens. I am planning, of course, seeing it again with some friends from work. Maybe a second view, and maybe I'll pick up some other things here and there that I might like more. But all in all, it's good, but not as great as I would expect from Star Wars.